Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to another Sunday Share Live with Havali. That's me. For those people who are joining me for the first time, my name is Havali and I'm from Jamaica. I currently reside in Edmonton, Canada, and I am trying my very best to come on here every Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, just to give you updates about what's happening with Canadian immigration stuff in terms of persons who are interested in applying for their permanent resident statuses. So, guys, today I have some exciting news, and I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, so I'll just say it's exciting news. If the numbers are increasing, if the numbers are getting staggering, it means that people are showing more interest. But before I go along, I just want to say a happy Father's Day to all the wonderful dads. Today is quite an emotional day for me. And my father passed away 10 years ago, and he was very special to my heart. So it's a bittersweet day because I celebrate all the wonderful dads around the world, but I still feel heartbroken. I was writing in my journal earlier about how grateful I was for all the times we spent together. So I am going to divert from that topic real quickly because I am still in the process of healing, and it took me years before I could actually have a conversation about. Hi, Kareem. Hi, Caris. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I should have just stuck to the plan and just talk about what I came to talk about. That's why I haven't been active on here all day today. It is tough. So I say to you, if you have your fathers, cherish them. Hi, Karine. I see you're requesting to join. Oh, wow. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. It's a part of the human experience. Karine, are you there? I've enabled the live for you to join. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to come in here and be like a whole pool of, a puddle of water crying away. But the more I talk about it, I think I'm easing the pain. It is very painful because my dad was a wonderful man. He was a wonderful human being. I am not sure why, Karine, but I am not seeing you. You requested to join, but I haven't seen you. In any case, guys, welcome to another Sunday Share Live with Havali. So what I'm going to update you on today is that since the beginning of June, again, we have a backlog because people are aware that the government has decided to resume express entry and all the other visa pathways here. So people are applying more than ever, and I'm sure that there were persons who were waiting and their applications have expired, so they probably renew those applications because if you're in the express entry pool, your application does expire after a year. And considering that no draws have been done in over a year and a half, the last draw was in late 2020. So some persons would have had their profiles expired, and so they would have had to renew those. So I have the statistics, and they look quite staggering to me because now they're up to a 2.4 million application backlog, and specifically for those persons who are interested in self-sponsorship through express entry, the inventory increased by at least a quarter million people. So that's like over the past month, a quarter million people have submitted their application. So now you can imagine that they're clearing up the backlog so that they can start sending more invitations. to people to apply for their express entry. 2.4 million, that's quite significant. Um, and I'm looking at my computer here because I don't have the numbers in my head, obviously not, but it says here that persons who are awaiting their citizenship, um, they are awaiting, confirmation to get their citizenship. It's like almost 400,000 people. So things have been a little slow. And due to COVID, now the environment has changed. So persons are now working from home. And I saw in the news recently where the government was doing a recruitment drive, they were employing persons so they'd have more, human capital, they'd have more people to process these applications. And here's the thing about working with federal government. If you're not a Canadian citizen, you're not able to apply for federal jobs. And no, this is an inventory that's available. There's an opening to apply for a job with the government that probably have great benefits and pay well, and you could stay at home and work. But then you might not be able to apply for it because you're not a citizen. And in order to get citizenship, you either have to be born here, or you had a parent who was born here. That's the way for you to get citizenship. Or you become a permanent resident, like I am now, and then after 3 years, you apply for your citizenship. That's a great pathway to get one of those federal jobs, and I'm sure they pay really well. Yeah, so right now, as it is, the inventory for temporary residents is at about 1.5 million. So people are applying. People are applying for these visas. They know that eventually, if they are qualified or if they're in the top percentile, they will be selected. Yeah, so 2.4 million backlog. Let's see how quickly they're going to clear those. But they haven't said anything about retracting the date for express entry resumption. So we're expecting things to still go along. And hopefully you are in the pool and you will get your selection. And I know a lot of persons are excited about that. I have been joined by some more wonderful people. Hi, I see my friend Ofi and my birthday friend Christina. Hi, Dr. Christina and Shanique. Yes, so that is the update I had, like ladies. I came on here earlier and somehow I started talking about my dad and I broke out in tears. And I was just saying it's a part of the human experience. It's really challenging when, hi, Ofi, when you lose someone that's so close to you, someone who you love and cherish and admire. And my dad was a really wonderful human being. And I know that he's sitting in heaven and looking down and smiling down at me. And he's very proud of the woman that I have become. It is tough, but we have to keep going on. Yeah, so I digress for a second, but I'm back on track. We are at a backlog of 2.4 million people. So hopefully they'll be able to clear those backlogs real soon. And by they, I mean the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, which is the same agency as CIC, which is Citizen Immigration Canada. About 2.4 million backlog. There are like 1.5 million people waiting in the express entry pool to be selected. Now they have about 400,000 people awaiting citizenship. And over the past month, at least 200 and almost 260,000 applicants submitted their express entry application. And considering the landmass that we have here in Canada, we have more than enough space for anybody who wants to come. I said it in the last video that US has a smaller land space than Canada, and their population is like 10 times the size of Canada. So we have a lot of spaces. I just made a post yesterday as well about this lady who has a pending deportation, which is a really sad case considering she came here on one of those temporary resident work visa, and she alleged that her employer abused her. I don't know what kind of abuse it was. It wasn't explicitly stated, but she complained about it and she was fired. So she moved to another area and started working. And this lady has been here for 12 years. She gave birth. She got some awards for children rights because her child, when I read the article, it said that her child had ADHD and the child is being treated. And she did some advocacy and was awarded for it. So they're saying, oh, she's a really good citizen. Well, not a naturalized citizen, but she's a really good citizen or member of the community. She adds value, she contributes. And they're saying basically that she violated her civil rights by overstaying her time, which is quite unfortunate. But no one should ever come and feel subjected to unfair treatment from employers. And I posted it, and I know the story would have been there for about 24 hours. But the truth of the matter is that if you are persons who like to speak up for your rights, you will work in a toxic, quote unquote, toxic environment. And everybody will think it's okay because that is their normal. And by their, I mean those people who own those big corporations who are only are only concerned about their dollars and cents and not about the actual environment that you're subjected to. They don't really care about anything besides paying you minimum. And that's why I keep saying to persons, don't let it all be about wanting a work permit. I've been contacted by so many people saying they just want a job. They just want a job. They want a work permit. If you're in a position where you don't need to depend on somebody for that job, if you can get yourself in a position where you can create your own job, or you have options where you can get to pick, choose, and refuse. Like I'm able to say, I'm not working here anymore. I'm jumping ship. I'm getting a different job with better if benefits is what I desire, better benefits with a higher pay rate, etc. When you have your permanent resident status, you have that luxury. If you are here on a work permit, you do not have that luxury. If you're a temporary resident, if you come on one of those work programs, you do not have that luxury. And what a lot of people don't understand is that the base salary that they say you'll get, for example, the job description says that you can get $20 per hour. You convert that and you say, oh, $20 per hour is like 2,400 Jamaica. Nobody is paying me $2,400 per hour. But you have to factor in that the government is going to take about 25% of that $20. So your take home is going to be $15. And if you're going to send all that money back home, great. But if you're going to stay here and spend it, $15 is not anything to really jump and shout about because the cost of living is quite high. So I just wanted you guys to be mindful of that. And for those persons who already have an undergraduate degree and you've been savvy with your finances and you've been saving and you know that this is where you want to be, I'd say it might be better for you to sponsor yourself and give yourself leverage and give yourself options and opportunities rather than just taking a job for a job's sake. And the next thing I wanted to tell persons as well, hi, I see I have more persons join the live. Thank you guys for joining. The next thing I wanted to differentiate was a job permit versus, there is a work permit, sorry, versus, my apologies, I'm having one of those blank moments. A job offer, sorry, yes. So there's a big difference between a work permit and a job offer. They are two different things. So a work permit is you could get an employer to sponsor you here. They decide that they're going to pay for the LMIA, which is a labor market impact assessment. They have to pay the government a significant amount of money to get that. It's basically a report stating that nobody else in Canada is fit for the job, or nobody else basically don't want the job. So they're going to take you and you're going to come here and you're going to work with that employer. And I think that might have been the case with that young lady who is pending deportation, because when you get a job permit, you are tied to that employer. when the employer, like let's say they fire you, then you basically have a breach in the contract. So you have to either return home, or if you stay for a certain period of time after your permit has expired, you have to return home. That's for a temporary work permit. A job offer is for those people who are pursuing permanent residence, and you've already met all the criteria. You have your funds and it's available to you. You submit your profile. Now you have access to the Canada Job Bank. So the government has a website, which is a job bank. So you're only getting access to Job Bank if you're in the Express Entry pool. And if you go there and you see a job that's suitable for you, and you can apply for the job, and the employer say, okay, I'm going to give you an offer. This offer is conditional because you have to come to Canada to get the job. What happens is that you automatically get 600 points, and then you automatically be selected in the next round for an invitation to apply. So when you're moving to Canada, you have a job to go to. In that regard, you will not need to prove that you have the 13 or 14 or $20,000 that you would have said you had. You understand? So you need to have your, let's say for a single person, the amount is 13,600. Round it off, let's say 14,000. You have to have that $14,000 readily available, because if you're selected tomorrow, you'll need to prove that you have that money available to you. But if you have your 13 or your $14,000 and you go in the pool and you get a job offer from an employer here, because you're gonna get your resident status, then you don't need to prove that you have your $14,000. You can take it and go buy a brand new car. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you get the point. If it's not clear to you, you can let me know in the chat below, or you can send me a DM and I will answer or clarify that question for you. Okay? Do I have any questions today? I'm so sorry, Karine. I tried to put you on the, connect you to the live, but it didn't work out. I'm waving to everybody today. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. I only plan to come on here for a short while, and then I got into talking about my dad, and then I turned into a whole mess. But that's okay. It's a part of humaning. Oh, you are welcome there. Yes, I need people to get their expectations right. I am surprised that I have so many people who are in pharmacy who, like, they come on the live, or they're in the they come on the live, or they send me messages and like, oh, what is it like to live in Canada? But nobody asked me what it is like to work in Canada. It's not gonna be much different from Jamaica, honestly. The scope of practice is broader, and I've only worked at 3 pharmacies. The corporation that I work with has over 10,000 stores. I'm sure the culture in each store is different, and then they have different franchises, different banners that have different stores all over, and then there are independent pharmacies. So I can't really speak to that. Everybody's experience is subjective. Someone has to have their own experience, and then they get to formulate an opinion about it based on what they go through. But for me personally, it's okay. I've achieved what I said I wanted to. I'm going for additional prescribing authorization. And I just wanted to have, honestly, I'm just going to be frank with you all and say that my intention coming to Canada was to work part-time in a pharmacy, maybe on the weekend. I wanted to go to school, but I did not want to come here as a student, as again, I've been telling you all about how expensive it is to become a student. So to come here as a student. Hi, Trudy. So what I did was I decided to get the PR, and I'm going to go to school. But I've been doing a lot more personal development and vision unlocking and those kind of things. And I realized that this path, going to school is for me, but what I wanted to go to school to do, which was my PharmD, that's not gonna happen right now. Maybe in the future, but not right now. I don't want to do that. And someone said to me, if I'm gonna, why not do my PharmD? I said, that's not what I want to do. I want to do other things. And if I have a PharmD or a B Farm and I'm working in retail, it is the same salary. Newsflash. And someone said to me the other day, say, I thought you had your doctoral degree. I said, no, I transferred my bachelor's degree. It is possible. It is possible, but I do have a strong feeling that they're going to phase out the bachelor's program real soon. So for all of those people who want to move to Canada and transfer their pharmacist degree, you got to get stepping because I feel like they're going to phase it out. Things are changing rapidly. Every year it's something new, a new change is coming. And since September of 2021, students who enroll at the University of Alberta have to go straight into the doctoral program. So there's nobody graduating from Canada again who's going to be getting a B Farm. So I feel like they're going to change it. So your dreams are urgent. You got to get stepping if that is what you really want to do. Okay. All right. All the very best with your licensing exam. I think that's going to be sometime in October because that's when the council normally administer the exams. Okay, my dear. All the very best to you. All right. Trudy, you are such a faithful